First live from the hotel room here in Indy. I had dinner tonight, gave you guys a little walking tour on the way to dinner. After the haircut, that was important, get the haircut in first. But the NFL Combine is really going to kick off in earnest tomorrow when the convention center is going to be fully free. They had the swine veterinarian, the swine vets, basically pig vets. They had a conference for them here in Indianapolis. It's a huge convention town. They had the convention center before us. NFL takes it over fully tomorrow. So you don't know what passes through Indianapolis until you're actually here. So the swine vet's out Tuesday, NFL in. 49ers are going to be here, but only the scouting department side, John Lynch and Rand Carthon and the whole personnel side, Adam Peters, all those guys are going to be here. Kyle Shanahan and the coaching side of things staying back in Santa Clara to finish up some staff hirings because it's obviously been a busy few weeks since a late end to the season on January 30th, an NFC title game against the Rams. This is something that I talked about on earlier shows. It was just put out there on Twitter, but if you follow the show, if you subscribe, then you would know that Bobby Turner is not likely to coach in 2022, scheduled for a couple operations this offseason. And because of that, Bobby Turner is likely going to take the year off. So the Anthony Lynn hire as associate head coach for the 49ers, assistant head coach for the team a few weeks ago. Remember, Lynn is a former head coach of the Chargers. That Lynn hire makes a whole heck of a lot of sense in the context of Bobby Turner not being able to coach for the 49ers and stepping away for at least a year in 2022 because Anthony Lynn played and coached under Bobby Turner. Anthony Lynn was a running back for the Denver Broncos from 1997 to 1999, and then he was a special teams assistant on that Broncos staff under both Mike Shanahan. Obviously, Bobby Turner was the running backs coach from 2000 to 2002. So the 49ers now have Lynn in that assistant head coaching position. And as I said a few weeks ago, after the 49ers hired Anthony Lynn because of the Bobby Turner talk, it was likely that Lynn would handle the 49ers running backs position in 2022. So not really news there, but just something that was a little bit more publicized. In the larger picture, the 49ers have lost a lot of assistant coaches. This is the most staff turnover that they've had since Kyle Shanahan came aboard back in 2017. And that's one of the reasons why Kyle Shanahan is working back in Santa Clara during the Combine this week. The 49ers have to do all their quarterback coach interviews, and they have to make sure that all of the staff is filled out so they can make those announcements and be ready really for the start of the offseason program. And you would like to have your staff, I think, generally established before the new league year starts on March 16th. So that's where the 49ers are at right now. John Lynch is going to be here at the Combine. Going to get a chance to talk to him on Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm going to float around. I'm going to get a chance to meet a lot of people. You do a lot of networking. As I said in my live video, walking the streets of Indianapolis earlier, it's a situation where there's drinking involved at the Combine. It's basically why gigantic NFL convention. I know everybody talks about the underwear Olympics portion of it, and you're going to see all the 40 times on TV. For us here on the ground in Indianapolis, it's a lot more, right? It's about a lot more than just college prospects. It's about seeing, associating faces to names and seeing people in person really for the first time in a while since the Combine wasn't a thing last season. And obviously in 2020, it was right before COVID hit, but now we're returning to at least a semblance of normalcy. Don't forget your build your rostered spreadsheet. That came out today. I have another video explaining that, but I have the interactive exercise ready for you for those of you who want to build your own 49ers roster under the salary cap. Got interactive with it, made improvements to it this year. It's version 2.0. It's been very popular already. It came out this morning, and there's no better time to release that than right before the Combine. So once again, hello from the NFL Combine. If you have any questions, why don't you put them in the comment section right now? I'll take a look at them. But other than that, it's time for me to rest because we're going to have a lot of content. We're going to pump through it this week. The Trey Lance series, breaking down every single snap from Trey Lance's 2021 rookie season. That's progressing. Episode 4 is going to be coming out. I think I'll record that one tomorrow morning. So look forward to that. Subscribe to the channel. Be on board for all that. And right now, you might have a good chance to pick, at a couple questions, because there are not that many people on this, Monday night in the offseason. People waiting for news right now, I think, to get interested in the 49ers again. How many picks will the Niners get for the loss of minority coaches? Well, you get a third-round pick every time a minority coach leaves somewhere due to a promotion, right? So it just depends on how many of these guys are promoted each and every season. Last year it was 2, because it's not only coaches, it's executives as well. So Robert Saleh went to the New York Jets from defensive coordinator of the 49ers to head coach back east. And you had Martin Mayhew go from assistant general manager to a general manager spot in Washington. 49ers picked up those 2 compensatory picks. This season, Mike McDaniel has gone from the 49ers offensive coordinator position to the Miami Dolphins head coaching position. And it's really interesting because the 49ers have several other potential coaches who, if they are promoted, would earn the 49ers third-round compensatory picks. They just hired Anthony Lynn, so he's a former head coach. Suppose that he gets back into head coaching conversations, or at least offensive coordinator conversations. Those will all be promotions, right? So if that happens and Anthony Lynn does move on to another coaching job with another team, that would be something that allows the 49ers to get a pick. Maybe even more imminent is DeMeco Ryans. 49ers might be able to get that third-round compensatory pick. So the 49ers are in a position where they might benefit draft-wise from that. It's remarkable to me, on a slightly separate note, that despite the fact that the 49ers traded so much draft capital for Trey Lance, they still have 9 picks in this upcoming draft. So the 49ers are in a position right now where they're ready to rock and roll with this draft. Even if they don't have first rounders, they're ready to stockpile some players, and that's the most cost-effective way of doing business. Yes, you're right. I realize this when I was talking. It does have to be a head coach or a GM, but that's why I mentioned Anthony Lynn, because he has been head coach before. So it's not ridiculous to think that he can be a head coach again. No, we're still waiting on special teams coach. 49ers still, I think, conducting some interviews there, but I am expecting announcements on the coaching staff to come soon, and special teams coach is going to be one of them. No, Bobby Turner did not officially retire. I said at the top of the show, a couple knee operations that he has to go through this offseason, so it's likely that he's going to take the 2022 season off, hence Anthony Lynn. Yes, this is good news for the 49ers about the 9 picks. I had this today in the rostered spreadsheet article that accompanied the spreadsheet. Guess what the cost of the 9 picks total on salary cap is? Total. It's $7.69 million. So $7.7 million to sign 9 players, 9 draft picks on the 2022 cap. That's how cost-effective the draft is. And for a team like the 49ers that is up against it as far as the salary cap goes, the draft is so important because it is the most cost-effective way of doing business. That's why you stockpile these picks. They got one for Jonas Griffith. Remember the linebacker they had in training camp who was playing really well? Well, Jonas Griffith, they sent to the Broncos, and they got a 7th-round pick in exchange. And you might think that's a micro move, and it's not a huge move, but it is a move. The 49ers got another pick, and that's another cost-controlled draft pick, a player that you can have under a rookie deal for 4 years, especially important in 2022. And yeah, of course, I talked about this on the way to dinner today. Jimmy Garoppolo, I do expect stuff to start speeding up. Maybe you don't have anything finalized this week. John Lynch, I'm not even sure if he's going to be here all week, but he can start talking to other GMs. He can start, the scouting department and the personnel department can really start engaging in those conversations. And I do think that the 49ers, for salary cap purposes, are interested in trading Jimmy Garoppolo. They've been very, very open about that. So we'll see how that materializes, and they may still get more picks beyond that. I did not read any article about why the 49ers should trade George Kittle. I stay away from clickbait. We only deal with facts and actual analysis on this show. When are all the NFL draft picks finalized? Well, not until the draft. You could trade guys for picks and stuff up until when the draft ends up until when the draft starts in late April. And hey, even during the draft, you could be making some picks. You could make a trade in the 5th round and pick up a 6th round pick and use it right then and there on the Saturday of the draft. So that's not going to be finalized until that actually happens. Draft picks only work if you have the coaching staff to bring out their skills. Well, yeah, the 49ers absolutely have the coaching staff to bring out draft pick skills. That's one thing that the 49ers have done extremely well. If anything, it's their higher round picks that have occasionally underperformed, but you have the 5th rounders, especially the 6th rounders. Elijah Mitchell have been huge for this team. So the 49ers, one thing that they have is a staff that has developed players, which is why the staff is so popular amongst NFL. That's why they're getting poached all the time, because this is a respected coaching staff around the NFL. Yep. Facts. No noise or lies on this channel. We don't waste our attention on some of that stuff. I mean, George Kittle obviously is a huge part of this 49ers team. Now, I mean, he's expensive, right? He has a big cap hit. There are a lot of players with big cap hits. Again, you don't treat anybody as untouchable. You saw DeForest Buckner leave for this team, and everybody thought he might be untouchable. It's the NFL. Anything can happen, but have some substance behind the reports, because even a broken clock is going to be right twice a day. If you just pump out stuff over and over again, that's just strictly based on conjecture. Yeah, you're going to be able to point at the 1 or 2 times that you were right, but you weren't right because of any skill. You were right because you got lucky. So talking about George Kittle right now doesn't really, move the needle to me, because there's absolutely no substance behind those talks. So we'll wait until there's actual substance behind that. For now, again, take a look at the roster builder. The hands-on roster builder allows you to visualize these dynamics. And if you want me to, I'll just post it into the comment section, that link again, so that you could have some fun with that and build this 49ers team and actually understand the nuances that are at play. Mike says you can't trade Kittle with a Trey Lance season coming. You want to provide Lance with every ounce of talent around him. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the reason that you're going to a quarterback on a rookie deal, theoretically, for the 49ers is so you could retain the talent around him. And you just signed Kittle to a long-term deal. Do you really want to eat that dead money that was part of the signing bonus? No, you don't. You're in a cap crunch. I mean, I could look it up right now. Why don't we go George Kittle? I don't know why I'm getting suckered into this right now. It's not your guys' fault. But let's go to George Kittle over the cap. And let's see what the signing bonus is and what the dead money would be, because the 49ers would be on the hook for all of that. George Kittle had a $20 million signing bonus, $20.32 million. That means that if he were traded this year, there would be $24 million in dead money. This is why I don't entertain this crap. 24 million would hit the 49ers books. 24 million. Jimmy Garoppolo's cap hit this year is 27.5 million. And we're talking about how big of a burden that is for a cap-strapped team. So you'd basically be adding the equivalent of a Garoppolo contract or a Tom Brady contract onto the team while losing George Kittle. That's what the dead money burden would be. They've committed to him contractually, right? You're not going to save money by trading him. Clickbait is clickbait, and I don't know who put it out there. Somebody just put it right here and into this comment section, so that should address that. Any contract extensions incoming? Well, if you use the roster builder, the interactive tool, Jimmy Ward is a player the 49ers could save some money with a contract extension. If they like what Samson Ebukam did this year, they could save some money with an extension, because he came on hot late in the season. Hey, Laken Tomlinson, I'm still waiting to see what the 49ers do at that right guard, that left guard position, because that would indeed be a contract extension if they do re-sign him. He's still under contract until the new league year starts on March 16th. Do you think, right here, what is it? Do you think Trey Lance would be consensus number 1 overall pick this year, given the lack of QB prospects? Possibly. It would depend on how he played at North Dakota State after the COVID year and everything like that. But if he stayed on the same trajectory that he was on when he played in, that 2019 season, then absolutely would have a chance to be the number 1 pick. So 49ers like that. I mean, Lance is younger at 21 than a lot of the top quarterback prospects who are like 22 this season. So that's big news for the 49ers. Good stuff, guys. All right. I am going to start resting because it's a big few days for me here at the NFL Combine. Why don't you make sure that you subscribe to the channel where you have every single snap of Trey Lance's rookie season. We're breaking down, film breakdown on the channel. Why don't you go and watch those 3 episodes, get caught up because I still have 5 episodes to go. I'm doing an 8-part series. It's literally probably going to be 4 hours of Trey Lance film breakdowns by the time we're said and done. So that's why you should be subscribed. I'm going to give a video tour of the NFL Combine using my phone tomorrow. I think people will like that. I'll try to take you into the event, and we're going to have fun with this because I think it's about to start picking up for the 49ers. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Subscribe now, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye now.